Hey guys, it's Rob coming at you with another movie review. Texas Chainsaw, 3D, 2D, whatever the fuck. Don't matter. 3D's fucking horrible anyway. Now, I want to make it clear. I did not buy this movie on Blu-ray. There's a ton of Blu-rays over there that I've gotten as gifts. Piranha 3 Double D. Who the fuck would buy that? There's a bunch of titles over there that were given to me as gifts. Obviously, the person who, gave them to me doesn't know a bad movie from their asshole. But the thing is, it gave me a chance to watch this because I never rented it. I seen people's reviews online, and they all say the same fucking thing about the timeline. Just everything. So I had to watch it for myself, and I was watching out for those kind of things. And what the fuck were they doing in this film? This is supposed to be a direct sequel to the 1974 original classic. The 1974 classic. This is supposed to be a sequel to this. What the fuck? Really? What about this? This is more of a sequel than that piece of shit. This is more of a sequel. This is actually underrated. I mean, Dennis Hopper, music by Tobe Hooper, directed by Tobe Hooper. Jerry Lambert also did the music. Chop Top, Bill Moseley. You have a great sequel here. And this is a classic. How can you get a movie, how can you make a movie like this and say that it's a fucking sequel? There are so many things wrong with this film that some people haven't even pointed out, and I'm going to name the very first one. Oh, let's see. First of all, Marilyn Burns, who played Sally in the original. The blonde, who got away. Marilyn Burns, the actress who played her, plays Verna Sawyer in this film. How can you have a direct sequel with the same actress playing two different fucking people? Someone explain that to me. Well, a lot of years have gone by. She's a lot older, so maybe people won't notice who she is. I fucking noticed. Marilyn Burns plays two different fucking people in the same franchise. If this is supposed to be a sequel, this movie starts right where this one leaves off. In the 70s. Right after Sally escapes. The sheriff comes to the house. And you got Drayton Sawyer, who is the cook, the father, and he's got a gun and everything. And they're sitting there waiting inside the house while the sheriff's outside trying to call Leatherface outside. But this is right after Sally escapes, played by Marilyn Burns. And then you got Marilyn Burns playing the grandma, Verna Sawyer. Someone explain to me what the fuck. If you didn't know that, you could see her name in the cast. I know they're probably trying to pay homage to her. They're trying to pay homage to her when she was younger. I understand that. But this is a direct sequel. You don't put the same actress who played one of the most notable characters in this film, the survivor, and put her as another character in a sequel. Maybe it's just me, but I thought that was stupid. That was a fucking stupid move. Gunnar Hansen. Who does he play? Oh, Gunnar Hansen plays Boss Sawyer in this film. And again, it was a nod to the original. But how can you have a nod to the original when, like I said, it takes place in the 70s right after she escapes? The sheriff comes up to the house and there's Gunnar Hansen sitting right in front of the window with a gun, playing a different character. Of course, he can't play Leatherface. He couldn't play Leatherface again. I understand that. But it's so weird seeing Gunnar Hansen sitting there, and then you got Leatherface in the other room, and the guy who played Leatherface was pretty good. Dan Yeager, I think. He was pretty good. I have to say, I liked him. I seen in interviews in this that he says he tried to mimic Gunnar Hansen's movements and everything the best he could. He tried to portray Leatherface the best he could, and I appreciate that. I didn't think he was bad at all. I think he was a pretty good Leatherface. Get that out of the way. You got Bill Moseley playing Drayton Sawyer. And that was okay because he played Chop Top in the second movie. Because this movie pretty much, it makes it like this one doesn't exist. So, when the sheriff gets to the house, there's all these people there who just fucking magically appear. I don't know if Drayton called them or if they were hiding in the fucking basement, because the whole movie in this, there were only 4 people sitting at that dinner table before Sally escapes. There was Leatherface, there was the brother, and then there was Drayton, the cook, and then Grandpa. And they were all trying to hammer her head over the bucket before she escapes. That's the only people who were in that house. When she escapes, I don't know how much time there was between when she actually escaped and when the sheriff got there. Maybe time enough for him to call his friends. I didn't think he had any friends. So these people are just there, and there's a huge shootout with these crazies who are in town, and they come to try to, take care of these people. And the sheriff is he's the stupidest character in this series, because all he does is stand there and let things happen. You're telling me you're wearing that badge, you should be fucking fired. He lets the law go. He basically lets people do whatever they want. And it shows a couple times in this film. So everyone burns in that house because they throw a Molotov in there, and it burns down the house, and everybody dies except for, Leatherface is nowhere to be found. And one of the Sawyers has a baby, so this guy takes the baby and kicks her, and she pretty much dies. And that's where we get the last living member besides Leatherface that is a part of the family in this film. And what's her name? Alexandra Daddario. I mean, she's pretty good looking. She's hot, and it's funny because in this movie she's always wearing these tops that go like right here, and I mean, she's got a big chest. I mean, pretty damn big, and they show it off like that. It's not even fair. Like, they open her shirt like this, and and it shows like a side boob. It's like, come on, really? Why are you showing side boob? Whatever. So she plays Heather Miller, who she's actually a Sawyer, but she doesn't know that. She doesn't even... It goes from 1974 to, I believe, 2012, and she doesn't look the right age. Do the directors and writers to this don't know how to do math? She was a baby in 1974. So here she is, she's working in a meat market. Go fucking figure. Oh, it's in your blood. Even though you had nothing to do with the Sawyers, you were just a baby. You didn't see that they used to cut meat and work at the slaughterhouse. Here she is in a fucking grocery store cutting meat. What did she do? Just wake up one morning and say, I think I'm going to get a job cutting meat. What the fuck? She also gets like little bones and like puts them like makes art with them, kind of like Leatherface used to do, like hanging bones from the ceiling and stuff. Is she that fucked in the head? I mean, oh man. So basically she gets this letter saying that she's inherited, you know, she has no other family member, she was adopted, she has these adoptive parents who were the guy who basically killed her mom and then took her. Adoptive parents. She gets this, she's entitled to this estate from her grandmother. Her only living, relative that she didn't even know about it until she got that. And her grandma's estate is huge. I mean, it's like this huge, it's not really a mansion, but it's a huge house down in Texas. So she gets her friends and then they take a trip down to Texas in this van. And she's got a boyfriend, and then she has a friend who has a boyfriend. And go figure, in this movie they pick up a fucking hitchhiker. Now this is, I'm going to name all the stuff that's just ridiculous. They pick up this hitchhiker, and this guy's like, oh, I could sure use a ride. And they get to the house, and they look around and stuff. There's all these nice silverware, nice things laying around, antiques, maybe worth some money. What do? They fucking decide they need supplies. So the hitchhiker decides to stay there. He's like, oh, I'll be fine. And they leave him there in the house that she just inherited with all those antiques and valuables. They leave him there alone while they all go out and get some stuff and come back. Who the fuck does that? What the fuck? Who does that? They don't even know this guy. Oh, hey, how you doing? Can you give me a ride? I'm headed here. Do they know his family? Do they know his family history? Do they know what blood type he is? Do they know his social security? Do they know him enough to leave him there? So they leave him there, and what does he do? He starts to steal stuff. Didn't see that coming. He finds this secret area where there's like a basement door with a big key. Unlocks it, and he gets killed by Leatherface. This is the first time we've seen Leatherface in the new era. He's much older, which I think he should be a lot older. He shouldn't even be able to pick up that fucking chainsaw, but whatever. He kills the guy with a hammer. And that's kind of a nod to the original, too. He does a lot of things like from the original. So that was okay. The death scenes are okay. There's a couple that are stupid, but... they get back and they find out, oh my god, like, he tried to steal stuff, and they're just like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Like, they're trying to be like, oh, it doesn't matter. They don't even call the police or nothing. They just shrug it off. Like, it's not a big fucking deal. Like, whatever. He tried to get away with this. Like, ugh. So they start messing around, and I just wanted you to know also, by this time, before she got to the estate, before she got to the property, she received this envelope from her grandmother, Verna, and she was supposed to read it because inside there's very important information about the property, about Leatherface, about her family. But what does she do? She doesn't read it until the fucking end. All she had to do was fucking read it. She could have saved everybody's life if she would have just fucking read the note. She's a dumb bitch. Anyway. So the friends are partying, whatever. And Heather's boyfriend is pretty much cheating on her with the blonde chick, the other chick. There's another chick with her boyfriend. Well, the blonde chick's boyfriend, he gets killed by Leatherface, you know, with a hook, and Leatherface drags him down. And the funny thing is, down in the basement area, Leatherface puts this guy on a hook, that's what he did in the original 1974. He put that girl on the hook, and she had to watch her boyfriend get cut up. Well, he puts this guy on the hook, and Leatherface gets pissed, and he cuts this guy in half. And the guy's just like, If that was me, I'd go, ah! It looked fake when he was cutting through the body. I don't understand that. You know, the original 1974, that's what was good about this movie, is that it wasn't that gory. It didn't need to be. It was disturbing. It was a good movie. It didn't need to be all bloody and gory. When he cuts people in half with a chainsaw, we've seen it all before. Unnecessary. Really, it is. But anyway, so people start dying one by one, and you know, they try to escape. They find out that there's Leatherface is there, and they try to escape in the van, and there's a metal gate with chains around it, and they try to bash through the gate with a van, and he's like, I'm gonna ram it. He rams the gate, and it fucking goes back, and it doesn't even break. What the fuck? Why are people so stupid in this film? They fall down while they're running, which is like in any horror film. Like the girl should be going downstairs instead of going upstairs. The girl should be running fast instead of fucking tripping over everything. So that's like in every horror movie, but whatever. So the blonde girl and Heather's boyfriend end up getting hurt in the van. Heather escapes. And Leatherface pretty much drags the other two off somehow. He drags them into the house, where he starts chopping up Heather's boyfriend. And the girl he sticks in a freezer, in the meat freezer, which is what he did in the first one. The girl that was on the hook, he stuck her in the freezer. She came out like that. That was what they did in the original. So there's another, another point homage to the original, which is fine. So Leatherface starts, he's kind of got that limp on his leg because of what happened to his, in the original with his leg when he cut himself like a retard. Anyway, he starts chasing Heather, and it's funny, like this carnival, there's like this carnival going on, and it seems like it's right next door to her estate. I mean, it is. When the van crashes, it crashes a little bit down the street from the gate. She starts running through the woods and stuff, and then she ends up to this fence where there's this carnival going on. Why is this carnival in the middle of a forest? So people Leatherface starts chasing around the carnival, and people are just like looking at him